Long time ago, in a faraway land, lived a gentle queen who wished for a child. One day, while sewing by the window, a drop of red fell on the snow. The queen thought, "I want a baby with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony." Time passed, and a baby girl was born with those very traits. They named her Snow White. But the queen became very ill and passed away. The king remarried a vain and wicked woman. The new queen had a magic mirror. Every day, she asked, "Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" The mirror always said she was the fairest, until one day, it said Snow White was the fairest. Jealousy filled the wicked queen's heart. She ordered a huntsman to take Snow White to the woods and bring back her heart. The huntsman was a kind man. He couldn't harm Snow White, so he let her go and brought the queen the heart of a pig instead. Lost in the woods, Snow White found a little cottage. Inside, she saw 7 small beds and knew it belonged to 7 dwarfs. Tired, she fell asleep on one of the beds. The 7 dwarfs, who were miners, returned home and found Snow White. They saw she was kind and pure-hearted and let her stay. Snow White kept their home clean and cooked for them while they worked. Meanwhile, the wicked queen learned Snow White was alive. She disguised herself and tricked Snow White with a poisoned comb. Snow White fell into a deep sleep but was saved by the dwarfs. Later, the queen disguised herself again, this time as an old peddler woman with a poisoned apple. Snow White took a bite and fell into a sleep so deep that no one could wake her. When the dwarfs returned home and found Snow White, they were heartbroken. They laid her in a glass coffin and mourned her. One day, a prince passing through the forest saw Snow White and was captivated by her beauty. He asked the dwarfs if he could take her to his castle, and they agreed. As the prince's servants carried Snow White's glass coffin, they stumbled, and the piece of poisoned apple was dislodged from her throat. Snow White woke up, confused but alive. The prince was overjoyed, and he asked Snow White to marry him. She happily agreed. Snow White and the prince married and invited the dwarfs to the palace. The wicked queen, hearing of this, came to the wedding in disguise. But her wickedness was revealed, and she met her doom. From that day, Snow White, the prince, and the 7 dwarfs lived happily together. And the magic mirror never again spoke of beauty, for they all knew that kindness and love were what truly mattered. And so, my dear children, this story teaches us that goodness and kindness will always triumph over jealousy and wickedness. Just as Snow White found happiness with her friends, so too can we find happiness by being kind and caring. Thank you.